The Boys, episode 1 of season 1. Now I get it. Don't roast me too bad. I'm super late to this series. And if you didn't hear my review of Invincible, I just pony up the $12.99 to get Amazon Prime. So, after all the hype, after all the reviews, after everyone telling me, hey man, you need to watch it since you love superheroes so much, you're missing out. My verdict is they were right. I am missing out. After watching this episode 1, I could definitely say, without a doubt, that I understand the hype. I understand why everyone likes it. And the fact that it had that shock value, same as Invincible, but obviously this was out before Invincible, and the first time you see a soups as they're called in this series, you get, when he runs over, spoiler if you, in case you haven't seen this, the first episode of season 1. I think they're going on season 3. So if you haven't seen it by now or heard it, then hey, consider this your spoiler warning. But what a first episode. Like I said, when you see her when you see him, that part was it just takes you in awe because you're not used to seeing that, let alone in a superhero movie, just in anything, right? Just that shock value. And it happens fairly on, and then it just sets your expectations a little bit high, but it meets it. It does lag, don't get me wrong. Episode 1, after that not reveal, but after that shock, there's a lot of exposition, but you would think so, right? This is a brand new series, at least at that time. First episode, you want to introduce the world, like the universe that you're building, and there is a lot of talking, but they kind of set you up really early on, like, hey, look, this is the type of things that you're gonna expect from this series. And then at the end with Highlander, is it Highlander? I'm probably getting the name wrong, but at the end with the plane and how he cuts it with his Superman laser eyes, was like you just get in shock. Like it's just a dark view on the superhero genre and what probably happened. And I did if you go back and check out the Invincible review of the whole series, this is basically the same. And maybe Invincible was inspired by this show because they do a very good job. Now there's other movies and there's other TV shows that have dealt with the darker side of superheroes, so maybe that could be attributed to those also. But I thought for the first episode, this one, was really dark. Like, they don't really care. Like, when he was like, oh, I gotta keep going, I can't slow down, and he just books it, and you're like, what the hell did I just see Flash do? And it was his name A-Train, which the names could have been a little bit better. The names are kind of dumb, but whatever, it is what it is. And the fact that it is mixed with a little bit of a dark essence to the superhero genre, they have very human traits because as they should, right? I mean, I know with the comic books, with Marvel, DC, they some characters have a really, really evil characteristic, and some have like the ultimate good characteristic. But if you put it in an actual real life scenario, this is what they would be, right? You're gonna have these human traits of jealousy, lust, power hungry, just the same way that we have it in real life. Now, there's a whole mess more of episodes after this, so we'll see how it unfolds. And if you've already seen this one, please don't spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen. But I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But it was very refreshing to see this type of show, and especially on Amazon. It had a very HBO, Game of Thrones-ish. Well, let me just not even throw the Game of Thrones in this. Very HBO. HBO is usually known for the more risque, the more nudity, the more profanity, the more darker side of things. So for Amazon to take on this role, or not this role, but take on that kind of challenge in portraying something like that, and the way they did it and accomplished, at least again for this first episode. I don't know if episode 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 8, or even season 2 are going to stand up to the high expectation that it already set, but we shall see. I like the acting. I love the music. I loved everything about this. I can't wait to see the rest of this series. But yeah, so hats off to everyone involved. The costumes were a little bit iffy, I guess, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they will grow on me as the episodes keep on going, but enjoyed it tremendously, and I would highly recommend it. Just off the first one, off the first episode, it just means that I'm gonna keep on watching. And usually, when I surpassed episode 1, I go ahead and watch the whole thing. I just see the whole thing through. But anyways, those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. When you saw episode 1, what did you think? I want to know your raw, kind of just your first impressions on what you felt, what you saw, what your thought process. Were you in awe of what you saw, or were you just like, okay, cool, something different? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And like always, that's a wrap.